Can you just turn the mic on and thank you. Yeah, this was I came in with the crew.
That's right.
Yeah, no problem. Nice to see you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay. You good for me to grab coach? Okay.
So I can catch it. I'm not gonna say other than can't. It's very unlikely that I can pass this way, turn, go upward and release it up at the height for a great. So a catch.
You didn't think so?
Didn't feel like it was gonna be.
Yeah, I just went yesterday morning.
Test.
I went to their practice. Yeah.
Jen, are you able to hear me on the Zoom, okay?
But yeah, that was crazy.
You just drove in this morning. How was it?
It was tough. I never could.
That's a long.
Jen or Zach, are you able to hear me on the Zoom, okay?
Oh, I went to school there.
Well, you did.
Yeah,
So
so,
you also
yeah, that's
do,
the furthest. Well, I drove 12 hours to Mississippi.
Test.
I know.
That's a hike.
What's up? Yeah, we had, they switched them. Test. Jen, are you able to hear me on the Zoom?
What time did you leave?
That's not good.
Around 5:30.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. The traffic.
Coming in?
Right.
You got.
Hello, can you give us an update on how Lay's doing, her availability?
Yeah, same as yesterday. They'll be available for the game, and we'll manage, as the game dictates. The pound of a game is different than what they've been doing. And last time that there was pounding was the last game we played. It's going to be like that the rest of the season, and Lay will start, and we'll see what happens, unless anything happens during warmups.
What was it like for you to see Sil win that award and also see the scene here where her staff and her teammates were?
That's all the stuff you dream about, right? That that your players believe in the vision that you have for them. And, you could see with our staff, just the love that they have for each other. Obviously, Planette played with Sil, and Planette's done a great job with Sil. And, just can't say enough. And obviously, a lot of times teammates, they think of themselves, they want to get ready for the game, and, they don't think about moments like these and being present for them. They weren't, forced to be here. Matter of fact, Sil told them not to be here. So that's how much pull she has around here. So, and that's how much she means to them, to make a little sacrifice in terms of what time you ordinarily would do things for a game. Just special time. Happy that she got to experience that.
In just the whole entire year, every single player you have taught, you've said you're not going to spend another day, not being thankful for Sylvia Klaus. Just what does it mean to you that they were told not to be here, and almost every single one of them were in here and super rowdy and just super excited for them?
It's what Sil means to them. I think it's very organic. You can see it. Sil has just given so much to them. She said it was a give and take, but most of what she described was her giving. She was taught a lot this year about patience. I thought she had her best year with regard to poise, composure, when things aren't going the way that she would like them to do. As she described, some teammates that she played with before here in Minnesota, life was a little easier. And so it just says a lot that you can adjust and still find success. We had conversations, I've only had to have a couple, to kind of just reminders. She's at her best when, she's patient and calm and let me do the dirty work kind of thing. And I think that, I think that just speaks to the greatness of Sil, is that she's been able to morph into anything that we've needed her to do.
Hi, Cheryl. Annie Costable from the Sun Times. Candace Parker was out, your guys' second matchup against the Sky this year. She's obviously playing tonight or today. How much does that change your guys' game plan?
Well, I mean, obviously, Candace is a great player. They scored 105 with her and 95 without her. So I guess we're going to have to score 106 because Candace is playing tonight. So that's a tall order.
There's a lot of things we've talked about this week in terms of, matchups within the game that you've been looking at. If there's one in particular that stands out to you of kind of utmost importance, what do you think that is today in order to walk out of here with a win?
Yeah, that's a tough thing to talk about right now just because it's part of the game plan. We all like certain matchups and it'll be apparent, I think, as the game plays out.
Cheryl, is this a tough draw? A single elimination against a really good team?
No question about it. It's a really talented team that, didn't necessarily, very similar to us in terms of, what you had on paper, what you did in the off season, and then what presented itself, during the regular season. They had to go through a lot. They went through a 7-game losing streak, if I'm not mistaken. And then finally, now I think, I don't know how many, games in a row they've had, no injuries to report type of thing. That's not something that they got to experience a whole lot. Same thing for us. So yeah, I think they're considerably better than their record. I think any draw is a tough one for us because I don't think, that we're going to blow you away, with, big name talent that you can count on every night. And good luck, you're just not going to stick with us. It's not that in this league right now. So yeah, I think, in a nutshell.
We'll take the last questions on the Zoom. Jen, go ahead. Jen, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now.
You're up, Jen.
Great, thank you. Hi, Coach. I just wanted to follow up on a couple of the Sylvia Fowles Defensive Player of the Year questions. Just want to ask you, looking at the history of that award that tends to go to front court players. And so I'm curious, from your perspective, why that is and beyond position, what makes a good Defensive Player of the Year candidate like Sylvia?
Well, I think it happens because I think people that vote on it simply go to the stats. And post players, tend to get favored in stats that affect the defense. And so right away you go, okay, I'm voting for it. What do I look at? Well, they defensive rebound, they block shots. Looks like they get some steals. And I've just asked this year, I've tried to talk about it a little bit more in generalities. So if anybody was listening that was going to be a voter, that to us, defensive player of the year candidates are not only people that produce those numbers, because those numbers are very important, but then also how difficult they are to play against in the schemes. I've talked about, I think there was a big story on Brianne January being the best 2-guard defender in the league, and all that went into that story that talked about, you can't get a lot of things done against Brianne January. Well, Sylvia Fowles is very similar in that if you have a post player that you want to enter the ball on the block to, it's just going to be really hard for you to get that done. You can't count on that offense when you play against the Minnesota Lynx and Sylvia Fowles. In addition to pick and roll defense, I've said that Syl has really evolved as the game has evolved. There's not many stand on the block post players now. It's really more now spacing the floor. It's more switching. We've introduced Syl to concepts like she expressed today that, hey, I know you've always done this, but now I need you to do this as well. And so, recognizing when you're playing against Natasha Cloud in our last game against Washington, what that feels like. Now when you go against Sloot, what those elements. So she's not only worried about her own matchup, but the entire scheme of that team, because she's going to be involved in most of the action, either a fight the post, which is more rare, defending pick and roll, highly frequent, and then also coming from the help side, and oftentimes being our defender that comes over when we get beat, or an aggressive player like Copper's headed to the rim. So, the frequency with which that she's involved in possessions and she's affecting and impacting possessions is really, really high. And so watching the game from that standpoint, to me, that's what I'm looking for when I consider the all defensive team, which we don't vote on anymore, which I think is the right thing. But that's what I look at.
All right, everybody, that will be it for Coach.
All right, thank you. See you after. Thank you.
You missed the picture with other assistant coaches.
Oh, did I? Well, there's one still over.
Hi, James. Thanks for joining us. If you have a question for James, you can raise your hand or just start asking.
James, what is it like to come back here for a playoff game? I know last time I talked to you at length, you were just raving about what you gained during your Lynx experience.
I don't know. I'm so focused on, the game in itself and our team. I haven't really taken the time out to really think, that I'm here. We practice at University of Minnesota. So I have fond memories there, but I didn't get a chance to appreciate it. So.
Hey, James. Towards the end of the season, we talked about energy with this team and the shift that took place after your guys' game against the Fever. This first round matchup, obviously energy was high. So coming in here today, what has this team done to make sure that they're connected, make sure that energy level is high and they're that team that produces from top to bottom?
Well, we're united and we have one goal in mind, and so that's winning this game, and so everybody is accountable to what they need to have, whether that's energy or concentration, focus on common task, individual tasks. So I think the energy is high because everybody wants to win. So I think we're in a good place.
Hey, James, just how important was it for you to be able to play a couple nights ago and kind of, know that you already have a playoff win under your belt and just, what does that do for your players coming into a game like today?
I think it's important because every time you get to see success, it just gives you a collective confidence. So, us winning a game the other night in a fashion where, it was up and down. We came out, we played well. We had to face some adversity as far as them coming back, and we banded together even tighter and was able to finish them off the way we like. So I think it gives us a collective confidence that, you always want coming into games like these. And also because it was a brand of playoff basketball. I've been telling them that, playing against Minnesota Lynx in the regular season and playing them in the playoffs are, two totally different beasts. So I think having a game under our belt where you had a team that was desperate to get a win, it only, helps us.
Coach, Diamond DeShield struggled a little bit in the last game. I think she shot 1 for 8 from the field. Is there anything that you talked with her about in terms of what she can improve on heading into this one?
I think, she struggled shooting the ball, but I think the most important thing is, and what I tried to just echo a little bit was, you're only gonna, those 7 or 8 shots that you missed, they're only 30 seconds of basketball. How are you going to affect the game in other ways when you don't have the basketball? You're going to play, however many minutes you're going to play. Don't let the 7 or 8 shots define the imprint you put on this game. So we'll see.
Jen Hatfield.
Hey, Coach. Obviously Sylvia Fowles just won Defensive Player of the Year this morning, which continues a trend of it going primarily to front court players. So just curious to get your thoughts, number one, on Syl winning, and number two, why do you think it is that it tends to be a front court dominated award?
I guess it's the last line of defense that, is probably the most popular. They get to, put I don't know, they're a safety net for the entire defense. So whether they're cleaning up the straight line drives or whether they're securing the rebounds, they impact the game in a lot more visual ways than guards do. And we're not talking about guards help on the perimeter as much as we talk about on the inside, especially when it comes to protecting the paint. Or you notice them more when it switches on guards. You'll notice a big guarding a guard more than you'll notice a guard guarding a big on the inside and actually getting the stop. So, Syl, she cleans up a lot. We have post players that do the same. I'm proud of Syl and what she's been able to accomplish, but that's that.
Coach, you had a lot to do with her winning MVP in 2017. I know you worked a lot with her. I mean, now here we are, years later. Are you surprised that she's still doing this at age 35?
Not surprised. Not surprised. She's someone that puts in a lot of work. She pays a lot of attention to her body. She came in and worked a lot every day, pre-game, post-game, post practice, pre-practice, post-practice, and so you saw the work ethic. So it's not surprising, and plus she's built pretty well. So it's no surprise to me. I think something, when you talk about good people, great people, she's a person that I think deserves a lot of the things that come our way. And, but we'll see today.
Noah Wilkes.
Hey, Coach Wade. My question is, last game against Dallas, you guys shot 19% from three. Is getting the three going early is something that you guys focused on coming into today's game?
We want to score. I think that's the most important thing, and we want to do it in an efficient manner. We shot 19% from the three, and we know sometimes those things happen. We've actually paid a lot of attention to us shooting the ball the last couple of days, so hopefully that won't be the case today. But we just want to get as many wide open looks as we can, and hopefully the three is included in that. Hopefully the foul line is included in that, which hasn't been the case here against this team, but we'll see.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, James. We'll see you after the game.
Good. See you guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
We'll see today.